What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Dominate Every Aspect. And in this week's episode, I wanted to talk about preparing yourself for it to be over. Now, I know that's kind of an odd thing for me to be saying right now. I'm 2 and 4 weeks out from my last 2 contests of the year, but that means the season's wrapping up. I'm an experienced competitor. I've been through this before, but for those of you who are first-time competitors, for those of you who have not gone through it a handful of times before, it's not the easiest thing to be done. And I'll say why. It's because, for the past, this is I think week 45, if I'm correct, that I've been preparing myself. I've been, looking to compete at a world contest for the past 7 years since I started this. And you build yourself up a lot, right? And as many of you know who have competed, show day comes and goes and it's over in a blink of an eye. And then you're kind of left with an almost like an empty feeling. And it's kind of hard to deal with because for the past 45 weeks you've proven that you can devote yourself for X amount of weeks. You've proven you can devote yourself to a given task and you get really good at it. And then within a matter of hours it comes and goes and you don't know what to do. You're like, wow, I got really good at something, now it's over and I don't know what to do with myself. And I was sitting outside yesterday reflecting just a little bit. My wife wasn't home. I was just kind of having some alone time, just enjoying the nice afternoon. And I was like, man, I haven't done this in a while. I haven't just come outside and sat and enjoyed the day, and smelled the flowers, if you will. I've just been so focused that you kind of forget the things that you used to enjoy doing, or the people you used to talk to or whatever. And as important as bodybuilding is, it is not life and death. And there is a life outside of bodybuilding. I think that's what I've talked about, kind of like this whole thing, dominating every aspect, that includes outside of bodybuilding as well. So when, the show comes, obviously, we have to enjoy that time. Hopefully we're enjoying our contest preps, all the hard work that we're putting in and we're going to lead up to the show. In this show, the Yorton that I'm going to be doing, I'm actually the most that I'm looking forward to in that given show is not even the competition. It's not even potentially, winning. It's actually being around the people that are going to be there for me. I'm going to have 10 to 12 people there, and obviously you guys know I'm from Indiana, so me to have the largest crowd I've ever had all the way in Washington, D.C. coming to support me is pretty cool in my book. I'm going to know a lot of the competitors. Yes, it is going to be stiff competition, but I'm more looking forward to actually chatting with the guys backstage and everything, more than actually standing toe to toe and competing with them and everything. So we do have to realize, once the dust settles, if you will, that we do have to get back to our normal lives, and that adjustment is not always easy. So what I'm recommending is that you start mentally preparing yourself for this weeks ahead of time. And by doing so, maybe by trying to go out on walks just to clear your head a little bit and try to think past the competition. That's what I definitely recommend. I know it's so easy to get consumed within these last so many weeks of the competition, think nothing else about the competition. But last night, I was at my brother's house with my mom and my dad, and it was just really nice. We sat there, we were talking just like we always would. We had dinner. And it was just like old times, and today I went to visit my brother-in-law, and same thing. It was like I wasn't even competing, and truthfully I don't even know if he knew I was still competing or not, because he asked me, he's like, oh, what's been up? I had to tell him. So it's kind of nice to be able to step back from bodybuilding and kind of do your normal things. And this past 2 days, it really gave me a taste of what I used to do. When I wasn't so focused on bodybuilding and in the off season. And maybe this is not necessarily the right attitude to have. Some people are don't talk to me, I'm 2 weeks out from a show, I can't go anywhere, I can't do anything, I can't think about anything else. Yes, we could think about the show, I still think about the show, but I'm already preparing myself for the season to be over with, for me to get back to normal life, for me not to be restricting myself, for me not to have to look at myself in the mirror every 5 seconds to see if I still look good. So I would encourage you guys to take some kind of steps in order to mentally prepare yourself for your season to be over with. Just because it does come and go very, very quickly. It's not necessarily something that's easy to deal with. I'm sure I'll make another video about like post-show blues or something after I compete, and we'll talk about that subject a little bit more then. But this right here is a step in the right direction to prevent those post-show blues, is because I'm already getting myself mentally prepared for my season to be over with, and I would encourage you guys to do the same. So as always, guys, keep dominating every aspect, and I'll see you next week.